What's up, Scrappy Peeps? It's Adele from Inkie Quill, and we have episode 13 of Buy It and Try It today, where I buy the things and then I try all of the things. First up, we have some enamel dots. Now, you girls gotten back into enamel dots, so you'll see them pop up in a lot of Buy It and Try It's coming up over the next few months. I've also got quite a few goodies from Pinkfresh. I did a bit of a big order and got several different Pinkfresh collections. Most of them were either homey themed or, like looking on the positive side, or, days can be not so great kind of theme as well. I've got this sticker book, which is quite ironic because it's all about travel, and we're not doing any of that at the moment. I have these alphas from the Some Days collection. I think I picked up 2 packs of those, and I also have this sticker sheet. I just really like the mix of labels that Pinkfresh have. They have a lot of filler stickers, but they also have a lot of labels as well, which I appreciate. And then I picked up some individual 12 by 12 papers, which I don't do all of that often. I'm more of a paper pad gal, and I think the reason for that is just because of the expensive scrapbooking paper in Australia. It's often, it's about $2.50 to $3 a sheet, and that adds up when you make a lot of pages, whereas a paper pad you can pick up for anywhere from $20 to $30, and I just feel like you get a lot more bang for your buck with them. But there were some individual pieces that I couldn't resist, so I bought a mix. There's some that are cut aparts, and then there's others that are just random pages that I enjoyed. There's some of these are Valentine's-y themed, but I'm not scrapping anything Valentine's-y. And then I thought this page I might be able to cut apart into smaller items, into like little die cuts. This was just a really nice basic page, and then on this side I really loved it. Don't know what photo I'm going to put with that one yet, but I do really like it. I'm always a fan of a polka dot, but it was the floral that really got my heart with that one. Sometimes I buy 2 copies of a paper if I really enjoy it, but most of the time I buy 1. I really like those flower seeds. I don't know if I'm going to keep it as a single sheet or if I'm going to chop that one up. And those are the goodies that we're playing with today. So if you're a new subscriber, hello, welcome. Welcome to this crazy inky little pocket of the internet that you've stumbled upon. I use Buy It and Try It as a series that I created a while ago, where I do a little crafty haul, and then I use the items to create something, because crafty hauls are one of my favorite things to watch, but I always wonder if people actually use the items and what they actually do with them. And I think that it just gives a little bit more inspo rather than just buying the things, and it also forces me to use them straight away rather than saving them for, the perfect day. So here I've got the cut apart page, and I'm working with a page protector that I don't usually like, but I had a couple of 4x6 vertical photos that I wanted to use this week, and so this was the perfect page protector to use. And I'll be honest, I'm still not comfortable with horizontal 3x4s or landscape style 3x4 pockets. I think it's just because I've scrapped basically a design A style page protector for so many years. I've been doing Project Life now since 2013, and I still haven't gotten used to having a horizontal style 3x4 pocket. But it's always nice to try something new. So I've chopped into both the cut apart page as well as this particular piece of paper here that has the beautiful purple painty bits on it. And I did a bit of a sneaky, which I'll show you in a moment, with cutting the paper in half so that I could keep as much paper as possible. These 2 little photos are from Archie's daycare. They have an app where they send photos home, or they do a little, like a journal entry for each day with photos and a little explanation of all of the things they've been up to and how they meet the early years framework curriculum. And I really enjoy seeing what he gets up to, and it also gives us a bit of a talking point for dinner, because the boy answers questions like a teenager sometimes. We often just get a grunt as to how your day was, or he'll just go, good, and that's it. Whereas if I see that he was doing something, we'll talk about, I'll say, oh, did you do any arting today? Or tell me something in your day that was green. And then he'll say, oh, I painted today. So I really appreciate the effort and the work that they do into those extra things for the parents to see. This sticker book, it's difficult. It's very difficult because we're not going anywhere. And these photos were pre-pandemic. So we still weren't going anywhere because we're homebodies. And I am definitely not going to use up this sticker book anytime soon. But it's nice to have a few travel-themed things in your stash for the rare plane flight that we take. And so it'll be used periodically. So this next one was actually a 4x6 journaling card, and I snipped it in half, and I've covered up the words that were on it that I chopped in half with my photo. And I felt really good about doing that because I felt like I was... I think I've mentioned this before about how lame I am, that I find it really exciting to kind of win a point against my scrapbooking products. So when you have something that's designed a certain way and you completely use it in a different way, I feel like you kind of score 1 point and the scrapbooking product scores 0 points. And so this was one of those lame moments where in my head I'm like, yeah, I used you for something that you weren't supposed to be used for. And it felt really good because that's how lame I am. Back on track with the page, and this was just a photo that was actually meant to go the other way, but I've turned it so that it fits into the pocket and you can't really tell. This was a scrapbook page that I was working on. It's actually one of my Patreon videos that I want to repeat. I used a whole heap of wordy wood veneer and did a layout using, different goals and things that I was writing down. And so I want to repeat that. I love taking, this is a question actually for you. I love taking photos of my creative projects while they're in progress and then putting them in my project life albums, because quite often the photos that so I will take a photo in, say, 2021 of a page that I'm working on, which is actually a page from 2020, like a photo from 2020, I should say. So often it's a nice little, throwback to include them. I would love to know in the comments, do you take photos of your work in progress creative projects, particularly scrapbooking, and include them in your project life or in your scrapbooking layouts? It's like what do they call it? Is it matter? No, Aaron uses it all the time, that word. It's when you're talking about something that is something, the word's escaping me, but meta, that's what it is. It's very meta to take a photo of the photo and put it in the photo keeping device. All right, back on track. So for this next page, I really liked this paper, but I didn't want to waste it because it's so pretty. So I just chopped a small bit and stuck it to the back of my photo, and then I was just using that offcut to measure my 3x4 pocket instead of a ruler, because that's how I roll. And this was a photo of my dad pushing little sleeping Violet in her bassinet seat in the pram. And this was when I was struggling with packing up the house to move and sleep regressions and working from home. And it was just, life was a bit tough. And I was also battling postnatal depression at this point, which hadn't been diagnosed. And so I was feeling very, very overwhelmed at the start of 2020. And then, the pandemic hit and we moved house and everything just got even better. And so I wanted to capture a photo that kind of, for me, it captured, that photo just perfectly summed up what life was like at that moment. And I was very grateful for the family that we had around us to help out when they could. This was a screenshot. There was a mammoth fire that we had in Australia in New South Wales at the end of 2019 and start of 2020, and it burned. I wish I could remember the details, but I'll put it up here if I can remember. But it was humongous, and they finally got it out and they finally got it under control. And it probably burned for maybe a month or weeks, at least weeks. And it was really catastrophic and covered a lot in our media. So I wanted to add a little screenshot. Oh, there goes the dog next door. I wanted to add a little screenshot of the good news that that fire was under control. This next pick is Archie and his current fave, which was fairy bread. Now, have you peeps tried fairy bread that aren't from Australia? Fairy bread is quite possibly the quintessential childhood party food, and I feel like it's something that should carry on into adulthood as well. Basically, it's white bread. You can't do it with other bread. It doesn't work as well. White bread with butter and sprinkles on top, and that's it. It's usually cut into triangles, and it is a phenomenon that can't be beat, I think, with the childhood birthday parties. And Archie got introduced to it from Aaron, who has the sweetest tooth around. The two of them are like peas in a pod. When it comes to food, they both love sweets. They will have cake, breakfast, lunch and dinner if they were allowed to, but they're not. And so Violet is much more of a savoury gal, like her mum. But yeah, Aaron introduced fairy bread to Archie for the first time, and he was in love. So I had to capture the joy on his face there. I also forgot to stick enamel dots down on this page, so I'm adding a few more here and there, and they're just the right little finishing touch to these pages. Jazz hands, we're done. These are just some happy little life moments. Nothing major happening, no particularly giant events in my life at this point. But they just capture a moment that, I'd like to go back on and remember one day. I hope this has given you some inspo to get caught up on your project life. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really helps my channel out and shows that you are loving some project life. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.